Hey, this is Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, NWEFightScene.com. I'm here with the fugitive Dave Jansen at the Sports Lab ahead of your fight, your championship fight, or I guess tournament final fight in Bellator. How are you feeling today?
Never better. Got the last hard day of training out of the way and did my treadmill work this morning and just got some excellent sparring in this afternoon, so I'm all set.
All set. So what's it look like for you leading up to the fight?
I have 4 floats scheduled at Float On. It's a sensory deprivation tank service. You can go in and schedule an appointment. I kind of relate it to Avatar. I get in that chamber and just kind of get transported into another realm. So it's a good release after the fighting, after the training to just work on my mental game. So.
Well, that's really interesting. The sensory deprivation and you probably, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. The movie Altered States back in 1980 with I think it was William Hurt, and it's like when I heard you were doing this, and this is what I thought of, and where you go in there and the guy was like hallucinating and seeing lizards and all that kind of stuff. Talk about, I mean, I'm sure that's not what happened, but talk about what it does for your mental game.
Yeah, I think in the movie he took a bunch of hallucinogenics before the.
Yeah. So you're probably not doing that.
Yeah, you don't need drugs to get high, especially with sensory deprivation tanks. It just allows you to access, chemicals you have already in your brain that make you feel good. So for me, it really allows me. Not only does it help heal my body, all the aches and pains from training. There's some 800 pounds of Epsom salt in 10 inches of water. The water is 91.2 degrees roughly, same as your surface skin temperature, so you're able to lose track of where the water ends and where your skin begins. And essentially you're floating. It's got more salt than the Dead Sea, so you're buoyant as ever, and it's totally dark, soundproof. I relate it to just being in space. I can see at times planets, stars going supernova. Pretty interesting. I recommend anyone and everyone float. I think it'll make, whatever you do, it'll make you better at it. It doesn't matter if you're a fighter or a teacher, or whatever.
Right on.
Pumping gas. It'll make you more efficient at just life. So check it out.
Cool. Now, how long have you been doing it?
Over a year now, about probably like 14, 15 months.
And that
roughly.
And that kind of translates into your time here, with Bellator. You've had a real good run with Bellator. We're in this lightweight tournament. You come through your first 2 fights with wins, fighting in the final against Marcin Held. Talk about this run with Bellator.
It's been great, I really connect with the entire Bellator staff, not just the commentators, Jimmy and Sean, who I got to know at M1 Global when I fought for M1 Global. They were there as well. Sam Kaplan, the matchmaker and talent scout. He wears some other hats as well. Got to know him with M1 when he was working for I think his 5 Ounces of Pain website, and it's been great. Bjorn and I really getting along, and they're just allowing me to tell my story with the features, which is exciting. To have a voice and have people tuning in, even though it's on MTV2 now. I'm enjoying that ride, because a lot of people are watching it online also. You can watch the live stream at 5 different websites, and it's been great. They've been giving me really game opponents. I haven't had any tomato cans. Everyone's had solid records, and I've been the underdog a number of times when it comes to the betting pools. Yeah, I'm loving it. Loving every minute of it.
Right on. Now, with your two opponents in the tournament, Sadulayev and Terloni, they're both from abroad. I think you're the only American, obviously, left. So you had some of that fan support behind you, with it being held in America. That's got to feel good, having them chant USA and kind of just the natural instinct, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting used to that. I heard that a number of times now. I fought for M1 when we fought Brazil in Tacoma. Of course, I heard that chant there, and for whatever reason, I heard that when I was fighting in the WC against Kamal Shalarus. I thought that was a little, I don't know, uncalled for. He's living here in America, but yeah, I guess I'm not against it. I kind of fight for my country this whole time because I fought a Russian first round, a Brazilian in the semis, and now I'm fighting a Polish gentleman in the finals.
Well, let's talk about that Polish gentleman, Marcin Held. He's 20 years old, a young guy. He's had finishes with toe hold, heel hook, knee bar, inverted heel hooks. He likes those legs. He likes going for those legs. Do you see that presenting? Obviously, going to prevent some challenges. I think Clemente knew, that going in what could happen. And we watched the Clemente fight, and he played that leg lock game. How do you see the fight going, and how are you going to counteract that?
I see the fight going well for me with my wrestling background. I can dictate where I want the fight to take place, whether it's standing or on the ground. Held is he's dangerous in the clinch in that he's able to latch on and start attacking legs from the clinch. So I'm going to fight my fight, not his. And my boxing is never better than it has been in the past week, especially working my hands with Andy Minsker here at Sports Lab, as well as in his carport and Sportsman's Lounge in Damascus, and that's the city I grew up in. So I feel good, keeping it local. And yeah, I think I see the fight going very well for me.
Cool. Now, your last fight with Terloni, all stand-up, close, split decision. You hit him a lot, he hit you a lot. Talk about the fight after you got the decision, obviously in your favor. Afterwards, though, how did you feel about your performance, and what did you take from it and learn from it?
I thought I performed well. I'm happy with how I was able to put it together and finish the fight with an exclamation point with the suplex and dropping the knees to the back of his thigh, ending in a dominant position with back control. I'm a wrestler. I don't necessarily need to have both hooks in to have back control. There's a reason he didn't stand back up again, and he just eating those knees to the back of his hamstring because I was going to suplex him again, and he knew it. And I felt good. I felt I won every round. Counter punches, straight punches, landed uppercuts. I got every takedown. I got every knockdown. One with a punch, one with a kick to his leg. And I felt good. Two things I could take from it are, I think the perception of him being the aggressor in the second and third round, it's a little skewed because I was just kind of giving him too much space while I reset in between combos. So he was able to stalk forward a little bit. He didn't do a whole lot with it, but for whatever reason, I think a lot of the MMA media, maybe half the MMA media gave it to Terloni, half gave it to me. I think the reason for that is they had him picked to win it in the beginning. In the first place, I was the underdog. He was their their prospect to watch, number 2 prospect on some of the websites. So the fact that I beat him, I don't know if I stole a little bit of their class, or just I don't know how it is. I don't want to make assumptions, but I feel really good about my performance, and I think I won every round. I've watched the fight 8 times, and yeah, I'm happy with it.
Well, perfect. Now, Just a little bit off topic. I heard you have a hobby that you keep bees and you make honey. Now, is this true?
Yeah, the bees make the honey.
You don't make the honey. You collect the honey.
Yeah, I got two beehives, Italians, and they're in Damascus at my mom's property. She has a lot of fruit trees and vegetables and blueberries and everything else. So the bees can have just a variety of pollen to collect, and so the honey's tasty and chock full of antioxidants, nutrients, and other minerals.
Awesome.
And I can get a lot of things, not just honey, but propolis is what the bees use for kind of like mortar. When, say, a woodpecker is attacking the hive, they're able to just kind of, it's like caulk. They put the propolis in there and seal the gaps. So that's handy. People, I guess they put it in lip balm as well as wax, or propolis is good for the skin. As well as, I could get really crafty and get some royal jelly out of the queen cells. I had one of the hives swarmed last summer, so I had I did collect a little royal jelly. Nothing to brag about there, but that's pretty expensive stuff to get on the market. And then the pollen is probably the easiest thing to collect because it just falls through the screen into the observation deck. You pull that out, you kind of see what's happening with the mite levels, and that's where you get the pollen. So yeah, it's so easy. Anyone can do it. Maybe if you're allergic to bees, get a buddy to help you wear the protective suit. But yeah, I love it. I love my bees, and I feel like it's kind of like I'm providing a service to the entire community by giving the pollinators a chance to just get out there 2.2 miles away from my hive in all directions. They do everything. So we need to, bees are kind of in danger. They are in danger. There's something called colony collapse disorder, and scientists are trying to get to the bottom of it. There's some speculation. It's probably most directly related to over pesticide use or even just weed killer, Roundup. You don't need to just spray Roundup on everything. Just, pull the weed. Let the weed stay. It doesn't matter, so you got to think before you spray. You're not just poisoning this weed, you're poisoning your children and the entire ecosystem. So, maybe cell phone towers are skewing their navigation. Sometimes the bees, they leave the hive, they can't find their way back. There's another parasite out there now called the zombie fly, and so they're zombies. They fly out at night, they die. A little fly hatches out of their brain, and so that's kind of nasty. And that just there's recently the first documented cases of the zombies in Oregon, so gotta keep an eye out on that.
Wow. So you do know a lot there about the bees. I think you have a book ahead of you, Bees and Fighting.
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to the Portland Urban Beekeepers. It's a group I go to the first Wednesday of every month,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of scientists and doctors and just regular folks like me.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I'm learning a lot from them, as well as books and videos.
Awesome. So for this fight, you have some sponsors, obviously, and other people to thank. Who would you like to thank and sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Adidas, and you can check out their combat sports line at Budo Mart America. You can get boxing gear, jiu-jitsu gis, judo gis, Muay Thai gear. They got the best of everything at Budo Mart America, as well as On It Labs and All Pro Science. They're my supplements that I'm help. It's just really helping me stay healthy and fight at my peak performance. Future Legend You know, I'm part of Team Future Legend, and they got the coolest shirts and just a good name. You know, positive. I like the positive names for my clothing. I like to wear, you know, I don't like to put negative words on my body. So, you know, yeah, if I'm gonna have, anyway, yeah. So Future Legend, definitely check them out. They're out of Brooklyn, and they got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Sandy. So get on their website, order some shirts, as well as Float On, Southeast Portland. Check it out. So valuable of a tool for me. And I got Big Boy Moving out of Florida. If you're in Florida and you need to move, call Big Boy. And Determined Records. Big thanks to Determined Records. Yeah, Paradigm Sports Management. They're the ones who made all this possible. Actual, real, professional sports agency. So, lucked out there.
Right on.
And yeah, all my training partners and teammates and trainers at Sports Lab. You know, pound for pound, per capita, best team in the world. I don't think anyone can argue if you actually look at the numbers.
All right.
You know, how many guys we got fighting and how many guys we got fighting in the big shows. What we're doing and the streak we're on. So we're looking to keep that streak going on the 14th of December.
Awesome. So you heard it here. Dave Jansen, the beekeeper, the fugitive, the pollinator.
That was
Fighting December 14th. You can see it on MTV2 against Marcin Held for the lightweight tournament championship. Bellator, it's 81, I think, or 82, or one of those. Bellator.
82.
Check it out, December 14th. Thank you, Dave.